Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers, if I can request from everyone to just stand up for a moment, fill in the gaps, make as much space as possible. And once you've done so, please have a seat.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Brothers and sisters, today's topic is going to be a sensitive topic because it touches on many of us in a way that makes us feel uncomfortable. But it is important that we address this issue. During the brunch that we have here at the masjid, for the youth, the teenagers, there's one question that keeps coming back again and again. And that question is, Imam, is vaping haram? Is vaping, electronic smoking, is it haram or is it halal? What is the verdict? And many of you might already know the stance that Islam has on smoking itself. And alhamdulillah, the more people are getting educated, we realize that this is a bad habit. And again, people's eyes might look away because it's something that afflicts us and the past generations. When smoking was first introduced or became widespread, many Muslim scholars, they did not know about the harms it causes the body. The only thing that they could tell from smoking was that it left a bad odor, a bad smell. So what did they do? They compared it to something that they did know, to the likes of onions and garlic and such things. So many of the early scholars, they said, because of this, smoking is makruh. Not clear-cut haram, but it's disliked because it makes you smell bad and it wastes your money. But now, alhamdulillah, the more we're educated, the more we know about the dangers of smoking, we realize that smoking, no one can no longer say that it is just makruh. It is haram according to the majority of the scholars. Why is it haram? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us in the Quran, وَأَنْفِقُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, and spend for the sake of Allah in the path of Allah. I ask you, when someone that is smoking is buying their cigarettes, are they spending for the sake of Allah? They're not. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ, and do not throw yourselves with your own hands into destruction. The smoker is doing exactly that. وَأَحْسِنُوا, and do good, not only to yourself, but to others. The smoker is not only harming themselves, but they're harming people around them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Verily Allah loves those who do good. And the reason, brothers and sisters, that I'm making this khutbah about this topic is cigarettes, they've gone out of fashion. Many places it is restricted. You can no longer go to a restaurant and just start smoking. There's different etiquettes now. And people are trying actively to push out that bad habit. But what has replaced it? It's these e-cigarettes. They look so flashy, you wouldn't even recognize that it causes harm. And ask your children, by Allah, ask your children, if they're at that age, 15, 16, all the children will tell you that if you go into any washroom at school, there's children vaping. It's become an epidemic. And again, like I said at the beginning, this is a sensitive topic. Because many of us, we might fall into that sin. But Islam teaches us that it's not about what you do or I do. A sin is still a sin. If you are facing this problem, may Allah help you and all of us. But it does not change the reality. If you ask any parent who smokes, would you want your child to start smoking too? They would say no. Many of them will say, I wish I never picked up this bad habit. It's destroying my health. It is losing me money and so on. Another important point, brothers and sisters, is for us to distinguish between the smoker and the act of smoking. It might sound like one and the same thing, but it's not. The one who is afflicted with this fitna, with this trial and test, we do not hate them. We do not look at them differently. Everyone has their thing that they're struggling with. For some it might be smoking, others it might be music, other people something different. We all have our struggles in life. So this khutbah is not to point fingers and say, oh, I saw this brother standing outside, he was smoking. I saw this sister standing outside smoking. No. But the point here is that if we do not address this new thing called vaping, we might want to turn a blind eye to it. But it is here, it is present, and before you know it, the Muslim community will be affected. And the best way to address it, in my opinion, is head on. We need to learn about the dangers of not just smoking, because people have left cigarettes, but about vaping. Do you know that today they even give you options and the flavoring of the vape? You can get it in candy, you can get it in many different tastes. And I say this as a concerned imam. And I do not say it to point fingers at anyone. Like I said in the beginning, if you are struggling with this, may Allah help you and help us. But as a community, we need to invest in our children, and one way in investing in our children is making sure that they do not make the same mistakes that we did. قلت ما قلت أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله على إحسانه وشكر له على توفيقه وامتنانه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له تعظيما لشانه وأشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وإخوانه. أما بعد, I wish to remind brothers and sisters, myself first and foremost, that summer is passing us by. It's going very, very fast. Before we know it, August is just around the corner. June and July already left. And this is the time for us, both on an individual level and as a community, to spend our time wisely. We try to make the most of what is left. Some people, they look at what has gone and they feel regret. And that regret paralyzes them. And they think, I wasted so much, what is the point? But in Islam, we know that as long as we have time, we invest, we make use of that time. So let us make this summer different. Memorize a new chapter of the Quran. Put a new challenge for ourselves. Pray more in the masjid. Do something with our children involving the community. We have activities here in the masjid, Fridays and Saturdays. We have a halaqah here at the masjid after Maghrib. This is the time for you to bring your children, sit in the halaqah, and like I always say, even if you've heard the same message time and time again, just the presence, just being in a gathering where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is being mentioned and remembered, that in itself is priceless. The mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends. And what do we do between Maghrib and Isha anyway? If you come to the masjid and you pray, by the time you get home and you sit down, it's almost time for Isha, and you come back. If you're at home, time goes even faster. You pray Maghrib, and then you sit in front of the TV. It is far better for us to invest these few hours, these few days, these few months that make up our life. And if you want the second generation, if you want the next generation, your children, the children in the community to be good, guess what? You need to lead by example. We all do. When we slip up, it's not only upon us. We have people that look up to us. If we fall short, it will have a ripple effect in the community. So I encourage, I humbly request the presence of brothers and sisters, as many of you as possible, to come and attend. On a final note, we addressed this in one of the halaqas in the past. As Muslims, we need to change this mindset of all or nothing. We need to change this mindset of all or nothing. What do I mean by that? People, they think, I don't have half an hour or 40 minutes to sit in a halaqa. I can't do that. I have other responsibilities. So because they can't spend the whole time, they spend none of the time. Whereas the good approach is, even if you can sit for 1 minute, if you can sit for 5 minutes. The same approach we have to charity. If someone tells you, help me build a masjid, what do you say? Oh, I don't have that sort of money. I can't build a masjid. I live paycheck to paycheck. Right? But if you go about it in a simple way, what can I do? Do I have $10 on me? Can I donate that? Can I help in whatever capacity? So let us all change that mindset when it comes to the halaqah, when it comes to charity, when it comes to many other aspects. Instead of looking at it as a big, big thing, look at it in small pieces. What can you do as an individual? ثم اعلموا أيها المؤمنون أن الله أمركم بأمر بدأ به بنفسه وثنى بملائكة قدسه وثبت بكم أيها المؤمنون من جنه وإنسه فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وارض اللهم عن خلفائه الأربعة أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن سائر الصحابة ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وعنا معهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين يا رب العالمين اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر